How's it going, everybody? It's Ocean back with another Destiny 2 video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the setup that I used to beat Phase 2 of the Duality dungeon. And we're going to be doing this on a Hunter and using the Arc subclass because there is, for the Duality, if you are trying to complete all the triumphs, it is complete all encounters in Duality dungeon with a full fire team of Arc subclasses. Obviously, if you're doing this with a full team, it's a lot easier. But for those of you that like to do things solo, like myself, I'm going to try and beat the whole thing on an Arc subclass. And obviously, I've done these two. And the next one I have is to defeat Kaitol, or whatever you pronounce your name. So the setup that I used for my Arc subclass, let's go into here, Arc Strider. I used the Flux Grenade. This is a really good grenade to kill the Bellkeepers. It's a one-shot kill. If you stick one, sometimes they're going to be standing next to each other and you're actually going to be able to kill both of them at the same time. I use Gambler's Dodge. It recharges my melee ability. I actually don't use it too often because I use the finishing move more often than I use the melee ability. So Marksman's Dodge is not a bad idea to automatically reload your weapon. This is more optional. Again, I use the finishing move more often than I actually use the melee ability move. So Marksman's Dodge is it's just optional. Doesn't really matter. Same with the jump. Whatever you guys feel better with, use that one. I like to use the top tree. It comes with a combination blow. Kill an enemy to trigger health regeneration. And your melee damage temporarily stacks up to 3 times. So it's mainly for the health regeneration. If I do get the melee kill, I typically am going to be using the finishing move more often than this, but sometimes it procs the melee ability, so getting the health regeneration is going to be good no matter what. Combat Flow, melee kills recharge your dodge ability, and then Lethal Current, after dodging each Arc Staff hit, creates a damaging lightning aftershock, and dodging increases your melee range. Not a big deal. This is mainly for the health regeneration, and melee kills recharge your dodge ability, which is pretty nice. Alright, so for the exotic, we are going to be using the Assassin's Cowl. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you see that I use this all the time because it's just that powerful, especially in this dungeon. It's very ad heavy. So for hunters, definitely want to be able to go invisible. It definitely helps just running around the ads, allowing yourself to heal. And so powered melee kills and finishers grant invisibility and healing. So getting a finishing move fully heals you. Plus you go invisible for 10 seconds. If you get a normal melee kill using the combination blow, you get about 6 or 7 seconds of invisibility. A finishing move gets you about 10 seconds of invisibility. So you see me, I'm going for those finishing moves all the time. Other than that, we can talk about the mods real quick. I'm using Grenade Launcher, Ammo Finder, just because I'm shooting out Wither Hordes left and right. And then I'm using Hands On to get my super back a little bit quicker. I'm using Focus Strike twice and Taking Charge. Focus and Strike grants class ability energy when you damage with a melee attack, and become charged with light by picking up Orbs of Power. Hands On, that just gives you more super energy on melee kills. And then for the chest piece, I'm using Armor of the Dying Star twice because it does stack. I believe it's like a 25% for just one, 40% if you use 2. So that's for solar and void damage reduction. And become charged with light by picking up Orbs of Power. And then I'm using, we got Better Already. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an Orb of Power and reduces class ability each time you pick up an Orb of Power with Font of Might, picking up Elemental Wells. I actually don't really have Elemental Wells that I'm spawning, so you guys could probably do something a little bit different than this. And then for my Mantle, I'm using Distribution and Perpetuation. Reduces class ability cooldown when using your class ability. And then, so every time I dodge, my class ability, it comes back quicker, and then reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. So that's pretty good for getting like your grenade back and stuff like that in the melee. Alright, so now that we've gone over all of the mods, the weapon choice that I used for this, honestly, I switched it up a lot of times. I used the hothead. I ended up going with a rocket launcher. A grenade launcher that has like proximity detonation would actually be pretty good for this as well, because when you go into the nightmare realm, you want to kill the ads as quick as possible to spawn the pretty much the standard bear that you guys are going to kill that spawns. I'll talk about that. You'll see me use the rocket launcher a few times. It just helps with quick ad killing, so you don't die by the nightmare collapses. I like to use the funnel web. It's very good. Subsistence rangefinder. I put major spec on it just in case I need to finish off any of the bell keepers. Very nice. And then I use the wither horde. This is good as well. If you direct impact a bell keeper, they will die from it. I like to shoot it at the big legion that's shooting that railgun at you before the standard bearer spawns. So wither horde's very good. I also just lay these all over the floor, killing ads as well. And then this is my main boss damaging weapon, which I'll explain a little bit about that once we get into it. But that's pretty much all that's happening with the build that I'm using. I think this exotic helmet's pretty necessary for this arc build. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, everybody, and I'll talk over that as well to explain what I'm doing. Alright, here we go, everybody. I'm just finishing up the second of the 3 bosses. I've already got 4 of the standards, placed them, and just about to finish this second boss guy. So if you guys do not know how to do this phase here, pretty much each round is going to need you to get 2 standards, and then that's going to be able to have you damage the boss guy. And there's going to be 3 of those little demi-bosses, so you have to grab 6 standards. So each round you're going to be able to see 2, and there's going to be the symbols on each of these kind of corners in this room. You just got to shoot the bell, go into the nightmare zone, and then just follow along with what I'm doing. I'm going to assume that most of you guys already understand the concept of how to beat this phase, but if not, this kind of shows you exactly what's going on as well. So, for starters, as you guys can see, I'm pretty much going invisible with my finishers as often as I possibly can. I use the Wither Horde to easily kill the 2 Bell Keepers on the Axe's side. So we have Axes and Cup right now. So I do that to easily kill the 2 Bell Keepers on the side that has the Axe symbol, because that's going to unlock the bell across the way, which spawns the Bell Keepers closest to me once we get out of this room. So for the super, I like to use that in one of the 2 nightmare phases. It just gives me a pretty clean standard grabbing and killing of all the ads in this room. So kill all the ads nearby, and then kill this big Colossus right here, and then that should spawn the standard bear right here that's going to guard the standard. Just go ahead and take him out real quick. I got a little bit risky there, but I was able to get the finisher off. That makes me go invis with all these dogs here. Always try to get the finisher on that guy, because those dogs will mess you up. Grab the standard. I got the chalice on this one. I always throw my nade at the bell keepers right there, so I'm only using my nade for throwing it at the bell keepers. It does a lot of damage, and you can actually kill both of them sometimes with one nade. But as long as you stick one, then you're only dealing with shooting one, which is why I put the major spec on my funnel web just to help clean up after that nade throw. So using the nade on the bell keepers right there makes it very easy and to get back to the bell. Sometimes you're going to get back with like a couple seconds left. I mean, I've definitely got back safely with a 1 second left before, but most of the time if you're doing it just using the super and then using the nade, you're going to have about 5 to 10 seconds of spare time, which is great. Every time that you're going to put the standard in, just make sure you go invisible for safety. So when you're in this room right here, there's no time limit. So you can be in here as long as you guys want. I didn't want to do that, so I just went ahead and went into the next room to go get the Axe standard. I'm using my Wither Horde to kill the Bell Keepers down there, and I just let that thing damage over time. If you stick them, it's a one-shot. After a couple seconds, they will die. If you shoot at the ground, they can obviously walk out of it. So always try to stick them with the Wither Horde shot. Makes it much easier. Since we're invisible, we can get real close next to him and make it an easy shot. So once you kill the standards again, or the Bell Keepers again, next to the side that has the Axe symbol, that's going to unlock the bell across the way. So we got to position ourselves to go and shoot that. So if you guys want, you could sit in this room and kill the ads until you get your super back. I didn't want to do that because my rocket launcher and my Wither Horde pretty much can clean up this room in time. That's why I'm using the rocket launcher. Again, you can use a grenade launcher to do kind of the same deal. This is completely just to kill all the ads in this room as quick as possible so we can pick up our standard. Because this room right here is going to be the toughest part about the whole thing. Everything else, again, doesn't have the timer, so you can pretty much take your time and make sure you're doing it safely. But this room, we gotta move quick. So I like to shoot him with the Wither Horde as well, and then get the finishing move on him just so we can heal back up. Standard bear should spawn, and the Fun Web pretty much puts him down close enough without actually killing him most of the time to be able to do the finishing move. And so everything from here and prior is pretty much just a rinse and repeat until you get to like the final boss guys. So the way I kill the boss, I take it very slow. There's no need to rush it since there's no time limit. So I like to go and stand at the top of this room. So right now we're technically at the bottom middle. I always go invisible from the guys falling before I go run out. Again, safety and survival is your best friend in this one since there's not much of a rush when you get outside of the Nightmare Realm. So I like to go invis, get myself a fresh invisible from getting a finisher on one of these little guys. Place your standard, and then I like to hang out up top over here because typically you might have one or two of the ads coming up to you, which is good because you can go invis and get your finishing move off on him. But I use the Wither Horde on the boss pretty much exclusively. I will use my rocket launcher a little bit just for a little bit of extra damage, but I take your time. You're not really trying to beat world records. If you are, then you're probably going to need a different setup and probably not use a hunter if I'm being honest. But just take your time on this one. Use the Wither Horde for the damaging over time, and use the rocket launcher just for a little bit extra damage. That's why I say grenade launchers are good too. If you guys have a rocket launcher with tracking, it's better. Mine doesn't. I'm using the Hothead. The Hothead has a good blast radius, so it does a lot of damage if you do a direct impact. But I was just kind of shooting it close by. If I could get the direct impact, I would. But typically, I was just shooting close by just for a little extra damage. But this is pretty much it, guys. This is actually relatively an easy phase. I think it's not too bad at all. The first phase, it's time consuming. They're both time consuming because you're not doing as much damage with Solar 3.0 because Arc is just not a very strong super at the moment. That's why I use it for ad clearing. But I hope that this video helped you guys out. I'll go ahead and fast forward just through the rest of this boss fight here just to show you me killing him. But yeah, Wither Horde him. I was using the Anarchy for a little bit, but it just wasn't doing the trick. I would actually run out of ammo before because I had to just shoot two and run away. But if he had the shield up, then it would actually sometimes bounce off the boss's shield. So it just wasn't that good. That's why I like the Wither Horde better. It just damages over time, and you don't have to focus on him, but he'll still be getting injured. Alright guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys have any other ideas to help anybody out, please put it into the comment section below. It's let us know if there's an easier way to do this. That's great, but again, take your time. No need to risk dying in this phase because time is on your side. No time limit. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.